All right, I have Aaron Short Fuse Hughes back on the show now, who fights next on May the 14th at NEF 47 against Anthony Vasta. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm doing great. I'm excited to be down in the Lewiston, Auburn area for this big matchup here. NEF 47 is a great card. And I know this camp, you've been mixing it up like you've done in the past. You've been down at Jackson Wink again. So just tell me what that whole dynamic has been like.
Yeah, so this was actually my first time going out to Jackson Wink. After my last fight for CES, I actually fought somebody who was training at Jackson's. His coach reached out to me about maybe signing a management deal. Thought about it, talked to some of my teammates who have managers, and it ended up just being a no-brainer for me. Like, I have access to go train at one of the best facilities in the world with the best coaches in the world, some of the best fighters in the world, and actually get that much needed attention that I feel like I deserve to bring me to the next level. Not that I don't get that now, but when you're getting it from some of the best coaches in the world who have over and over and over again created high-level world champions, and just being in there and getting looks from those guys. Like, I got to spar with Aaron Pico and Holly Holm and Arlene Blenko and Damon Blackshear and like all these guys who are world champions, and it put a lot of stuff in perspective for me. I came back with a whole new sense of confidence in my skills, my abilities, my mindset, and really truly understanding how good I actually am. And yeah, it was a great experience, man, and I'll definitely be going back out there for sure.
That's fantastic. Obviously, everyone knows who, Greg Jackson is and Mike Wicklejohn, but who are some of the other coaches there that you're getting that one-on-one time with?
Yeah, so I did 4 private mitt sessions with this guy. He's one of John Jones's striking coaches, so he works with like Brandon Gibson, Greg Jackson, and Alex Existo. So I did 4 sessions with Coach Alex, and I feel like he really leveled up my striking a lot. I learned a lot training with him and stuff that I've already implemented a lot in my sparring coming back. I got to do a pad session with Brandon Gibson. I trained one of the head coaches. His name is Joey Villasanafor or something like that. He's like 39-10 or 29-10 as a pro. So it was just like world-class nonstop knowledge out there, and I'm truly thankful to be able to experience that. I definitely leveled up so much, and I'm so excited to step in the cage next week, man.
So I do know that Jackson's, they have, dorms for the fighters to stay at. So you don't have to worry about paying for like a hotel or anything like that. But, it's a long ways away from here in New England. So you're going to deal with the flight and all of that. How are you going to balance that moving forward when you want to go back there and train?
I've been actually giving it a lot of thought, and they actually rent out apartments to the fighters too. They're pretty cheap, like about the same that I pay now down here. So I'm just taking it day by day, focused on this fight, but who knows, I very well may be moving out there in the near future. So
no kidding. That's fantastic, man. Good for you. Well, I got to imagine your coaches at Regiment, that they'd be very supportive of whatever decision that you made, and you could probably come back even if you did make that move out there, right? Like there would always be an open door for you to come back and get working with the guys here, right?
yeah, absolutely. And like they say that MMA is not a team sport, but I'm nothing like without my coaches and teammates and training partners. But at the end of the day, it's also a very selfish sport. So you always got to put yourself first and always do what's best for you. And I'm not saying that that's what's best for me at this very moment, but in the near future, when you're trying to compete in the UFC with the best of the best, it's good to be able to have coaches that can work with you 24/7. And nothing against my coaches now. I've learned so much from them. Love them both dearly. But yeah, that's it. Could be a possibility in the future.
Very cool. I was just talking to one of your teammates here in New England, Jorgen De Castro. He's got a pretty big fight around the corner. Some guy named Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, who's that guy?
Yeah.
That guy's a bum.
Tell me some inside info here. Like, how's Jorgen looking in camp? I got to imagine strong as an ox. And give me your analysis of this fight with Junior, because obviously he's not the prime Junior Dos Santos. He's a little bit older. So what do you think is going to happen in this fight?
I mean, it's not prime JDS, but he's a former UFC world champion. He has some of the craziest knockout wins I've ever seen, like spin and heel kick knockouts, which you don't really see stuff like that at heavyweight. He definitely has very good boxing, but I think Jorgen is primed and ready to go. Just spent 3 weeks training with John Jones, who's arguably the greatest fighter ever. And at the end of the day, like, this is MMA. It's not boxing. It's not kickboxing. So I think Jorgen should go in there and mix it up. A lot of feints, lots of level changes, kick his legs, but don't try to turn it into a brawl. Just go out there and fight your fight and stay technical and stay sound. And I think he can definitely get the dub, man. And especially heavyweight 4-ounce gloves, it only takes one punch. So, I mean, I learned that shit the hard way. I completely underestimated an opponent and got knocked out for it. So, it only takes one punch, man. And I'm feeling pretty confident that Jorgen's gonna put him to sleep.
Can't wait for that one. That's right around the corner, just like your fight here. Let's recap your last one, man. CES 65. It was a UD loss to Rakeem Thorpe. What's the learning lesson from this fight in particular?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. So I went through 3 opponents the last week before my fight. I was supposed to fight Miguel Cuevas. He ended up getting injured. Then I was supposed to fight somebody else. I ended up saying no. And then the only reason I even took the Rakeem Thorpe fight was because I was told that it was going to be on Fight Pass. So I was like, well, I did all this training, all this dieting. I want to go out there and fight. And then I showed up. My opponent missed weight by 3.5 pounds, which something that I learned is if like from here on out, if someone misses weight, like I'm not fighting them. Like, you're going to have to pay me double if you want me to take the fight. Like, I do all this sacrifice, make the weight, train super hard, and then it's just disrespectful to go in there and like miss weight by a substantial amount like that. Like, don't get me wrong, bad weight cuts happen. Rob Font just missed weight. Shit happens sometimes, but when you miss weight by almost 4 pounds, it's like kind of disrespectful. So that's one thing that I learned. And I missed weight before too, not as a pro, but back-to-back fights as an amateur. So I definitely learned a lot from that by hiring a nutritionist, getting certified as a nutritionist, getting certified in weight cutting, so that stuff like that doesn't happen again. Now, I definitely learned that I need to be a lot more active. I was going out there, having fun, striking, but I kept getting taken down, and I didn't show much of an urgency to get back to my feet. I was just trying to strike from my back, and I think that if I could have kept that on my feet, that I definitely would have finished it. Or if I would have played more jiu-jitsu, I definitely could have caught him in submission. But I was too worried about what he was going to do and not worried about what I'm going to do. And moving forward, I'm only focused on myself. I'm not focused on anybody else, So, yeah.
Did you feel that, because Rakeem missed weight here in this fight, that he had some sort of advantage, like maybe even a little strength advantage because he didn't have to cut as much as you did?
Yeah, he was definitely extremely strong. I have a pretty good. Sorry, hold on. I'm freezing here. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in good.
I have pretty good takedown defense. I'm pretty hard to take down, and he just kind of manhandled me, honestly. Like he kind of treated me like a child. So I put a big emphasis on strength and conditioning for this camp. I focused on getting a lot stronger and actually like giving myself the recovery that my body needs, like stretching, doing some yoga, taking nice hot baths after training, like really giving myself like on days where I'm like super sore, like not pushing it, and really giving my body the recovery that it needed. And I think it's truly going to show next week. Like, I'm going to go out there next Saturday night. I'm going balls to the wall. I'm letting everything hang out there, like win or lose. Like, it's going to be fight of the night, and I'm coming to show that there's levels to this shit. And I just don't think Anthony Vasta's on the level that I'm at. I mean, I was just sparring Aaron Pico. Greg Jackson actually pulled me aside, asked me to spar with Aaron Pico. That right there is a confidence boost in itself, because Anthony Vasta is no Aaron Pico. He's not as strong as Aaron Pico. He's not as good of a wrestler as Aaron Pico. He's not as good of a striker as Aaron Pico. And quite frankly, he doesn't have the right mindset that Aaron Pico has. That dude trains like an animal, like 10 rounds of sparring, hops on the treadmill, hops on the bike, like hops on the bag. Like, that dude is just built different. And like I said, it put a lot of stuff in perspective for me where I want to be in my career. And I don't think Anthony Vasta is on my level, man. And I truly believe that. And I just can't wait to go out there and show it next Saturday night.
We're going to dissect this matchup here in a second. But first, I just wanted to ask you, Aaron, you're 1-2 now as a pro. And obviously, you don't want to take too many more L's. You want to start to rack up those wins to get that record, top heavy. So you look good to these bigger organizations. Do you feel pressure? Like, is this extra pressure for you right now to go in there and get this win?
I definitely feel a little bit of pressure, but at the end of the day, like, not really. Like, I have a lot of fights, a lot of amateur fights, 10 amateur MMA fights, lots of amateur boxing, amateur kickboxing fights, 3 pro fights. And honestly, I'd say that out of all my fights, I think Anthony is the least dangerous fighter that I fought as a pro. Even the guy that I fought in my pro debut, he was 0-3, but he was a 2-division amateur champion, and he was 6-1 as an amateur. And then I fought Jacob Detmeyer, who was undefeated. Big power striker. Then I fought Rakeem Thorpe, who comes from one of the best gyms in the world. So there's pressure, yes, but I'm not going to let that pressure control me, because I'm just going to go out there and fight my fight, man,
Okay. NEF 47, May 14th. It's next Saturday. Norway Savings Bank Arena. This is a good card. So outside of your fight with Vasta, is there a fight in particular that you're looking forward to seeing?
There's 2 fights. 3 fights, but I'm probably not going to make it to the main event, because as soon as I get out of the cage, I'm stuffing my face. I haven't had pizza in 13 weeks. So, but I definitely want to see Nate Grimard. We talk on Instagram all the time and shit, and he's cool people. And Carl Langston, fuck Carl Langston. It kind of rubs me the wrong way that NEF kind of promotes him. He's a fucking scumbag piece of shit. And I asked to fight him this camp, and they said that he was already booked. Okay, he's fighting another guy who's 1-8. I don't really know anything about him, but I know that Carl and I are in the same locker room, and we don't really like each other, so there's probably going to be a little bit of animosity there, and he's fighting right after me. But just those 2 fights, really. And the main event, too, I'm probably not going to make it there, like I said, but I'm going to be hammered by that time. But, yeah.
Who do you see winning that one, Jesse Erickson or Matt Denning?
I mean, I don't really know their skill set too well. I've talked to Matt a few times. I'm like on social media. I know he doesn't have the best record, but he's fought for like Bellator and stuff. I'd say from a record perspective, obviously Jesse Erickson should win. He has a much better record, but the thing is, like, Matt Denning just doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't just like he doesn't care. He's just gonna go out there and go balls to the walls. And those fights are always super dangerous. And I feel like that's what makes a guy like a Carl Langston or a Rob Fuller super dangerous, because they just don't give a shit. They're just gonna go out there and throw bombs. And so it'd be kind of cool to see Matt go out there and like catch him or something. But I'm gonna predict that Jesse wins by submission.
Okay, yeah, I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that fight. And okay, your matchup, I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one too. Anthony Vasta, he's 0-1. He lost the UD to Nate Grimard in his professional debut. The one thing that I noticed about him outside of me, he spent the majority of the time just playing defense because Grimard was all over him. But this guy's tall. He's tall. He's super long. He looks like a basketball player. When you dissect his game, like, is there something that he does really well? Does he use his jab well? Like, do you have to worry about that if this stays on the feet?
Funny story is we've actually sparred together probably a good like 6 or 7 times at Lausanne MMA. We were actually training in the same room together for this camp. Like a Saturday morning sparring, I was there, he was there. Like we didn't spar each other, but like I was watching him a little bit, he was watching me a little bit, and there's always a threat when a guy is that tall. Like, he has pretty good knees. He's really, really long. But I think from a skills perspective that he's just not as good as I am. And he was saying that he's going to break me on fight night. But, like, I've had teammates spar him before, and they've, like, put him down in the gym, like pretty bad. If Aaron Pico and Holly Holm ain't breaking me, I just don't see how he expects to break me. So I'm just going to go out there. I'm not really worried about what Anthony Vasta is going to do. I'm worried about what Aaron Hughes is going to do. And let's just go out there, fight my game, mix it up. Maybe I'm going to wrestle. Maybe I'm going to strike. Maybe I'm going to pull guard. Who knows? You're just going to have to go out there and watch. But I will tell you this, that I am going to finish him, and I will be victorious in this fight.
Again, man, I can't wait. May 14th, NEF 47, Aaron Short Fuse Hughes, Anthony Vasta. It's going to be a banger of a card collectively. So, again, can't wait to see you there, Aaron. And it's always great talking to you. Before I let you go, I want to give you the floor. As always, tell people where to follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah. First, I want to thank Regiment Training Center, my coaches, Brian and Tommy, my teammates, as always. I'd like to thank Jackson Wink, Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn, my manager, Jeffrey Chavez, for hooking me up out there. My sponsors, Ultimate Potential CBD, best CBD on the market. Here, let me plug it in. Got some facial scrub. See me out here glowing. You feel me? Look good, feel good, fight good, baby. Ultimate Potential CBD facial scrub. And then Vanessa from Be Kind, please revive massage therapy. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of recovery this camp. I've been getting weekly massages, and I'm feeling great. Shout out to my mom, as always. She's like my biggest support. I wouldn't be able to do this without her. Shout out to my brother for getting me started in the sport. And just shout out to NEF for having me on the show, man. I'm super excited to go out there and showcase all my skills, and it's gonna go one of two ways. It's either gonna be a dominating performance for me, or it's gonna be fight of the year. So either way, tune in. It's something that you're not gonna want to miss. I promise.